Hello everyone, welcome back to another weekly entertainment news video. As we go through some movie news where we're talking about the Camp Crystal Lake series that's supposed to be coming out, we got some animated Blue Beetle show in the works, an interesting spin-off movie for Megan, that and so much more, so let's dive right into it. Now before we dive into all of this, if you are new to the channel, do consider hitting that subscribe button as we go through movie news, TV series news, sometimes Lego news, all that sort of stuff every single week. Plus we do a movie review, series review. I just did a tier ranking video for all the Pixar movies. You can check that out over here somewhere. So if you like that kind of stuff, do consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, all that YouTube stuff. And when it comes to like these types of videos, timestamps are always going to be in the description down below. So if there's anything you want to skip around to, anything you're more interested in, timestamps will be in the description down below. But just quickly before we go into this, yes, we have a new Lego to adding to the setup. So we've got the Spider-Man Lego, working my way through my old Legos. I'm working on the Wolverine claw. I've got the Simba Lego. So again, there's going to be some updates when it comes to like the setup. We've also got Lord Zed's helmet, which I'm still so proud of. But just seeing these two side by side, Venom and Spider-Man, it just looks so natural, so neat. Just take notes because this is just like a natural combination here. But I just wanted to plug that in, throw that out there. But we're going to kick things off straight away with some trailers. The first trailer I want to talk about is the Smile sequel, so Smile 2. Now this trailer honestly looks very intriguing. One specific thing with a blood trail on the floor, you've got that last shot of the fan getting her t-shirt being signed. It looks like you're following this pop star. So the trailer itself definitely looks intriguing. I'll be honest, it doesn't have me too excited, but the thing is that when the first trailer came out for the first Smile movie, that also didn't get me really hyped, but then the movie honestly was really good. So with this one, it's got that same vibe to it. While the trailer doesn't blow me away, I still know that this movie has a lot of potential and could be good. But this is just a teaser trailer, but we'll be seeing a lot more later on as we're getting closer to the movie. But you see the trailer, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Does this get you excited? Are you not all that bothered? What are your thoughts? Because the next trailer we're going to talk about is the Penguin trailer, and this is a TV series coming out in September, and this is like a follow-up spin-off to the Batman movie, Matt Reeves' Batman movie from 2022. I've made a shorts about this, you can go check that out on the channel, but this trailer blows me away. This looks fantastic, not only from the atmosphere to the cinematography to just how Gotham looks, but you've got great performances from Kristen Milotti, you've got Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. It just looks like a great show, and honestly with some amazing shows coming out this year, this honestly has the potential to be the best show of the year. I'm so pumped about this. I cannot wait to be checking it out because this trailer has just hooked me in. So again, with this one, you see the trailer. What are your thoughts about this? If you've seen it, will you be checking it out? Are you not all that interested? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the first news story, one that might honestly be a little bit controversial for some people here, but we have got an announcement of a movie coming out which is going to be starring Jonathan Majors. Now if you weren't aware, Jonathan Majors got into some legal troubles last year. Not going to go into all of that stuff, but he was basically the Kang variant in the MCU, but then all of the legal troubles and stuff like that, he kind of got fired from the MCU. So this is his first project since all that legal troubles. If you want to know all about that, you can go check out other channels. They talk about that a million times over. This one, we're just sticking to like movie related stuff. So coming from the deadline, it's confirming here that Jonathan Majors is set to star in a supernatural revenge thriller, Merciless, from Martin Villeneuve. Now basically, in terms of the movie, it follows a top CIA interrogator who, after the woman he loves is overtaken by a malevolent force, is forced to go even darker to defeat it. This film will mark Major's first role since his conviction earlier this year, and it's going to be shooting in Saskatchewan later in the fall. So it kind of got that Taken vibe, but like in a supernatural element to it. And it's going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve's younger brother, Martin Villeneuve. I'll be honest, when it comes to like his younger brother, I've not seen any of his previous work or anything like that before, but I'm really intrigued when it comes to like a revenge thriller, a supernatural revenge thriller. Now, like I said, this has been very controversial when this first news broke out, but honestly, when it comes to like the plot, the details of it, it has got me intrigued when it comes to like Jonathan Majors being part of the project. I'm very curious to be checking it out just to see what kind of movie this is going to be coming out, especially because the director really intrigues me, being the younger brother of Denis Villeneuve, who is the one that directed the Dune movies. Fantastic movies. If you haven't checked them out, highly recommend. So with him being the younger brother, a lot of expectation is going to be on him and how he's going to be directing the movie. But this, one to check out, one to keep an eye out on. But you hear this and you see this, what are your thoughts? Will you be checking it out? Will you be giving it a miss? Let me know down in the comment section below, because there is another one I wanted people to keep an eye out on, but this is sort of a series. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter saying that Rhiz Ahmed to star in, write Amazon comedy series. The Oscar winner will also serve as a co-showrunner of the series alongside Ben Carlin. And the reason that I wanted to bring this out here because I'm a huge fan of Rhiz Ahmed. I think he does a fantastic job when it comes to like his movies and his shows, and so I'm really intrigued about this, especially because it's sort of like a comedy series. So if you're wondering what this is about, it's basically confirming here that the Oscar winner will be playing a struggling actor named Shah Latif, who's on the cusp of landing a breakthrough role when he finds himself thrust into a full-blown existential crisis and a trippy conspiracy thriller all at the same time. And I don't know if it's just me, but because I just recently started watching the Harold and Kumar movies, it's giving me that kind of vibes to it, like that sort of plot. But again, because it's like Rhiz Ahmed, normally I wouldn't have been that interested with this show, but with him being attached, like I said, huge fan of him. So this has got me intrigued. I wanted to go throw it out there because I don't think many people will be knowing about this, but I wanted to throw that out there to get some more eyes on it. But you hear this and you see this, what are your thoughts? Will you be checking it out? Does it sound like something that you would watch? Or will you be giving it a complete miss? Please let me know down in the comment section below for that one as well. Okay, now for the next news story, we're going to be going back to Freaky Friday. So I talked about this last week where you've got some new cast members joining in. We now got confirmation here that we've got another cast member coming through. So confirming from the deadline, confirming here that Manny Jacinto is circling Freaky Friday 2. So Manny Jacinto is the latest steps in talks to join the Disney's long-awaited sequel, Freaky Friday 2, sources tell Deadline. So details of his role are being kept under wraps, as is the same with the plot, which will shoot later on this summer in LA. There's also been rumours about the band Pink Slip, who was also in the very first movie, are being rumoured to be coming back to the movie as well. But when it comes to Manny Jacinto, now, for me, I know him in the Star Wars Acolyte show. I'll be honest, when it comes to that show, I'm sort of like in a mixed bag, but I'm not going to go into all of that stuff because honestly, when it comes to anything related to like Star Wars, whether you're going to talk about it, it's just either going to go really downhill or it's just going to turn into a shit show. So I'm just going to try and avoid that as much as possible when it comes to like Star Wars related stuff. But yeah, I've seen him in the Acolyte show, so I'm actually very curious to see when it comes to like what he's going to be doing in the movie. Something tells me that he's either going to be one of the boyfriends of the daughters or something related to like a relationship type of role with one of the girls in the movie. But again, that's all just speculation here. But this is definitely intriguing with the fact that they're getting these cast members in there. You've got rumours about other cast members returning. Like I said in last week's video, I may be one of the only ones. I know a couple of other people are also going to be checking it out, even though they may not be excited for it or anything like that. But for me, after seeing the first movie, being a fan of the first movie, even though it's been so long since that movie came out, I'm really curious to be checking out this one when it does release. But you see this and you hear this cast members. What are your thoughts about this? If you've seen the Acolyte show, are you happy? Are you excited because he's going to be joining the role? Have you seen him in something else? What are your thoughts about all of this? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now coming up next, we have got confirmation that Uncharted 2 is officially in the works here. So Sony earlier this week gave a presentation at Cine Europe back on Monday, going over a whole bunch of different things here, coming from like the Variety is saying here that Sony teases a Quentin Tarantino final film, the Beatles movie, a live action Zelda, all of that type of stuff. But I want to go into like the main thing that I'm going to talk about here, which is the Uncharted movie. Basically confirming in the article here saying that also what's mentioned was Jason Reitman's SNL 1975 about the build-up of the premiere of Saturday Night Live, the sequel to the Tom Holland starring action-adventure Uncharted, and the much-hyped live-action adaptation of Nintendo's video game franchise Zelda, but basically confirming here that Uncharted 2 is in the works. Now, I know when it comes to the first Uncharted movie, not a lot of people were a huge fan of it. It's in my backlog of movies, also games too. Like, I've been really behind in terms of video games that I want to play. Uncharted is one of them. I've heard a lot of good things when it comes to the game. Again, I haven't checked out the first movie, but like I said, heard very mixed things when it comes to that movie, especially because of the casting when you've got Tom Holland and you've got Mark Wahlberg in terms of like the casting choice for that one. But I am curious when it comes to having the second movie coming out. Are there a lot of excitement for it? Will people actually go and check it out? But if you are an Uncharted fan, what are your thoughts about this? Would you be excited for an Uncharted 2? Will you honestly recast? What are your thoughts about this? Very curious to know. Let me know down in the comment section below for this one. Okay, now for the next news story, I actually spoke about this a couple of weeks ago when it comes to the whole reboot with the Exorcist movie. So we confirmed that David Gordon Green was no longer part of the project. Mike Flanagan was actually attached to it. We actually now have a release date for this. So coming from the Variety, confirming here that Mike Flanagan directed Exorcist to release in March 2026 as Blumhouse overhaul franchise plans. So again, just to quickly go over this movie is sort of like a reboot. So the whole Exorcist Believer and whatever they were going to do in like the next two movies, that looks like it's been scrapped, and Mike Flanagan is just going to be doing a complete reboot with the Exorcist movie, which I honestly think is the right choice, and a lot of people seem to have agreed with that. Just nobody was excited for the next movie in the David Gordon Green trilogy, and so this was probably the best choice to go for. But I'm surprised that it's coming out 2020. I say surprised because it's 2 years, actually a year and a half away, but with this release date coming very, very soon, like 18 months if you really think about it, that seems like very quick. But honestly, with an Exorcist movie, you don't need like high budget big CGI sequences or anything like that. It just needs to be more grounded. So 2026, I guess, isn't that far-fetched. I'm actually more excited with this, with Mike Flanagan role, with him taking on this movie, than I would have done a couple of weeks ago before all of this news broke out. But you see this and you hear this. What are your thoughts are about this? Will you be checking it out? What are your thoughts are about the release date? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story, we have also got a movie that I want to be giving some eyes to. So we basically got confirmation of Will Smith's next movie. Now, I promise I'm not going to make any slap jokes. This is a serious channel, and who am I kidding? I reviewed a show about a woman turning into a chicken nugget, for God's sake. But no, honestly, I'm not going to do any like slap jokes or anything like that. But we have got confirmation of like Will Smith's next movie. So coming from the deadline, confirming here that Will Smith and Sony and Escapes artist teams on a sci-fi thriller Resistor. Now, in terms of like the movie and what it's about, plot details are obviously being kept under wraps, but it's following a 2014 novel, and it follows a physician, John Grady, which I'm guessing is going to be played by Will Smith, and his team have discovered a device that can reflect gravity, a triumph that will revolutionize the field of physics and change the future. But instead of a claim, Grady's lab is locked down by a covert organization known as the Bureau of Technological Control. And then as we continue here, the Bureau's mission is to suppress the truth of the sudden technological progress and prevent the social upheaval it would trigger, because the future is already here and its rewards are only for the selected few. When Grady refused to join them, he's thrown into a nightmarish high-tech prison housing other doomed rebel intellects. Now, as the only hope to usher humanity out of the artificial dark age, Grady and his fellow prisoners must try to expose the secrets of the unimaginable enemy, one that wields a technology advantage half a century in the making. Basically kind of sounding like a prison escape movie, a futuristic, more technological based prison escape movie, and I'm all for that. Think of basically iRobot meets Shawshank Redemption, combine that too, and that's kind of what you get. And like I said, I'm 100% down for this. I really enjoyed Will Smith in Bad Boys 4, Bad Boys Ride or Die, basically the latest Bad Boys movie, but the fourth entry into the franchise. I really enjoyed that, and you can actually check out my review somewhere around here. But I'm so happy that we're going to get to see Will Smith in like these types of movies. When it comes to Will Smith, he had some great movies back in the day. Like I know he had some really great hits when it comes to like movies such as King Richard, Pursuit of Happiness, those types of movies. But then also you've got like movies such as Hitch, iRobot, Hancock, Men in Black, Bad Boys. Like these types of movies is what I enjoy Will Smith in, and with this one being like a prison escape type of movie, I'm all down for that. I cannot wait to be checking it out. So I've got my eyes peeled for it. So you're hearing this and you see this, what are your thoughts? Will you be checking it out? Do you think this movie slaps? Promise that's the only one I'm going to throw in there. Or will you be giving it a complete miss? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, let's quickly talk some DC news here, because the first DC news I want to talk about is that we finally got a release date when it comes to the Superman and Lois season 4 show, a show I absolutely love. I did a binge watching Arrowverse video that you can also check out on the channel. Really proud of that video actually, and I watched every single season of every single show as part of the Arrowverse, with Superman and Lois kind of included in it, even though it's technically not part of the Arrowverse. But explaining DC canon just goes into a whole trail of a whole can of worms, so I'm not even going to go into all of that. But I really enjoyed Superman and Lois, especially that last sequence in the last season, in the last episode that just released. But basically when it comes to Superman and Lois, the final season, season 4, this is going to be coming out October 17th of this year, so pretty much in a couple of months time, like 3 months time, this show is going to be coming out. And like I said, I'm all for it. This show really is one to watch if you're a fan of Superman. If you really enjoy DC stuff, I highly recommend this because it's such a fantastic show. Tyler Henry does a fantastic performance when it comes to portraying Superman, and honestly one of the best portrayals that I feel like goes so underrated. So happy I'm going to be checking this out. Going to be doing a review 100% of this when it does come out, because honestly they are cooking with Superman. You've got My Adventures with Superman that's airing, like the animated cartoon series that's going out, and really a great show. Now you've got this. It's a great time to be a Superman fan. So you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. But the other news story I want to talk about here when it comes to DC side of things is we've got confirmation that there's going to be an animated series in the works for Blue Beetle, sort of like a continuation, but not a continuation with the live action Blue Beetle movie. We've got confirmation here, so we'll go through it. So Deadline is confirming Blue Beetle animated series in the works as DC plots the next chapter for the superhero franchise. So DC Studios and Warner Bros. Are looking to continue telling the Blue Beetle story via the animated series currently in development. Sources close to production tells that Miguel Puga, apologies if I butchered that name, has been working on the project since early this year and will serve as a project showrunner. Director Christine Martinez is set as the writer. And basically in the article it is confirming here that they have reached out to like the cast one from Blue Beetle movie and they've been getting a lot of positive response regarding returns. Deadline also understands that the animated series will build on the movie developed under DC Studios' previous regime, but it will divert from telling the same story. Instead, the show will create its own story, which in success could potentially lead to a return to the big screen for the giant blue bug portrayed by Zolo Maruduena. Apologies if I butchered that name as well. But basically this is sort of a continuation of like the Blue Beetle, but of course with Blue Beetle the movie it really isn't canon with James Gunn's universe. This is basically a origin story, so it's kind of like going to be like a retelling of the movie but going through like different stuff, maybe going for a more comic book accurate story when it comes to like other characters being involved, having Ted Cord part of it because spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, he is in the post-credit scene. So this I'm actually really pumped about. I really enjoyed the Blue Beetle movie. I thought it was a really fantastic movie. One of the better DC projects that they released in that year, from Flash, Shazam 2 and Aquaman and Blue Beetle. I just feel like Blue Beetle was definitely the standout out of the four. And it's great to hear that a lot of like the cast from the movie is actually going to be returning, most likely doing the voice acting, directing, screenwriting, all of that type of stuff. And that it's going to be telling its own type of story. So this actually gets me really pumped about it. And especially with James Gunn also confirming that anybody that voices whatever characters will be playing those characters in live action, so kind of confirming that the same actor who played Blue Beetle will be returning to live action. So this is definitely great news. What are your thoughts about this? You hear this, you see this, will you be checking it out? Are you excited? Are you honestly not that bothered? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story, one that really caught me off guard is we have got an announcement that the Megan universe, the spin-off universe, is officially in effect, because we've got an announcement of a spin-off movie. So coming from the Hollywood Reporter, you guys got to hear this, saying that Megan is getting a horror spin-off called Soulmate from Atomic Monsters Blumhouse. So Kate Dolan, who helmed the 2021 thriller You Are Not My Mother, which I'll be honest, I haven't seen, is on board to direct the feature. Now you're probably wondering, Soulmate, what could this movie be about? What's going on with this? So get this. This movie is being described as an erotic thriller. The film sees a man acquiring an artificial intelligent android to cope with the loss of his recently deceased wife. In an attempt to create a truly sentinel partner, he inadvertently turns a harmless lovebot into a deadly soulmate. Because why not? So yes, you're going to have Megan going from dancing and killing to a sex bot turning savage. Now, I genuinely wish I recorded myself reading this for the first time when this came out, because I genuinely had to reread this multiple times because I could not believe what the hell I was reading. The fact that they're going for a bloody sex bot turning savage, and this honestly sets up so much potential avenues now, because like I said, the Megan spin-off, the Megan universe, is in full effect now. You're gonna have sex robots turning savage, you're gonna have Megan turning face and taking on other evil dolls. Like, this is turning into a complete shit show, but you know what, I'm all for this, surprisingly. I just hope that they go for like a rated, I mean, you have to go for rated R if you're having a sex robot turning on its partner or customer or whatever you want to call the person, but this has to go rated R. But you see this and you hear this. What are your thoughts about the sex robot turning heel and going savage? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Will you be checking it out? Will you give it a miss? What kind of popcorn bucket will they be releasing for this movie? Because you know, let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the final news story I want to talk about here is we kind of not got an update, but we kind of got confirmation of what exactly really happened when it comes to the whole Friday the 13th series. Now, I believe it is still coming out, but this is sort of like the behind the scenes of what wasn't working, why Brian Fuller left the project, just more details. The Wrap put out an article detailing a lot of information here. Now, you have to pay to read the full article, so we're going through bloody disgusting because they thankfully are giving us this information for free. Because while I appreciate all the support, appreciate everybody that's watching the video, commenting and all that kind of stuff, I'm not paying $112 for a bloody article, so we're going for bloody disgusting here. So they're confirming here the latest update on the A24 Crystal Lake with Charlize Theron as Pamela Voorhees. So basically, we'll go through bit by bit. So again, to refresh your memory, Peacock had given the project a straight-to-series order in 2022, with Crystal Lake being described as an expanded prequel to the original Friday the 13th franchise, featuring both Jason Voorhees and his mother Pamela Voorhees, and according to the wrap, Charlize Theron was being eyed to play Mrs. Voorhees. So if you're not aware who Charlize Theron is, I'll put up a picture right here. I thought this would have been a really good casting choice here. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that if they're going to go for a different person or if it is still going to be Charlize Theron, but I definitely think this would have been a great casting choice to play Pamela Voorhees. But as we're continuing here, other details that the wrap reportedly revealed was that one episode was going to be written by Kevin Williamson, the person who wrote Scream, who's actually going to be directing Scream 7 right now as we speak, but that one episode was going to be taken entirely on a frozen Crystal Lake. So picture December, Christmas period, one episode where the lake is frozen, Jason Voorhees is going after his victims. I think that would have looked absolutely fantastic, having Jason Voorhees gliding his way through the ice, killing victims, killing people. I think this would have been amazing. And then as we're continuing here, that the wrap reports notes that in the grand ambition of Crystal Lake, each season would have been a deconstruction of the first 4 Paramount movies. The series would incorporate lore from the several sequels, but remix that material in a way similar to Fuller's Hannibal. So basically the first 4 movies would have been broken down into series. It would have been not like a reboot, but just like a remake type of thing when it comes to like every single movie broken down throughout a series. Again, they haven't confirmed if they're gonna go with that or a different direction, but I would have absolutely loved that idea, having it where it's just every single season is. So the first season would have been like Pamela Voorhees going after everybody at the lake because Jason reportedly drowned. So that would have been the very first season. Then you've got the build up to the second season, which will be the second movie with Jason returning and then killing off these teenagers at the Camp Crystal Lake. But it would have been like a more modern take to it, building up, because they even mentioned, like, I can't remember when it was, but if they said that it would have gone for 10 seasons, they would have had Jason go into space again. So I would have been 100% down for this, and I kind of hope that they still go for this direction, because that sounds like a brilliant idea. But basically the reason for this not working out here, they explained it, was that Brian Fuller was fired from Crystal Lake just 3 months before production was set to begin this summer. Crystal Lake was plagued by inexperienced production executives making questionable decisions, problem with the show's writing staff, and conflicts between showrunners and executive, basically having the Blade problem. But also what was interesting too is that they mentioned that the budget was ballooning to be around 10 million per episode. With 8 episodes in total planned for the first season, it would have cost A24 roughly 85 million to bring the series to life. And that sounds really, really odd here. I'm not surprised that A24 wasn't going to go for this, because with A24, they would not be spending that much on the show, especially because like their movies itself, like their most expensive movie was Civil War that came out this year that cost $50 million. And then like you've got movies like Moonlight costing only $3.2 million. So like A24 will not be spending that much, and especially because of a show Friday the 13th, Camp Crystal Lake, this show should not be costing 85 million per season, because you're having it where it's literally in a camp, in a lake, in a forest. It should not be costing you that much. So I'm genuinely not surprised A24 were not happy about that budget. But it looks like just a lot of like production issues, script issues, budget issues is the reason why the show is like being delayed, why we're not seeing it right now. But what they're presenting so far, I'm honestly on board with it. I would have loved to have seen this show, especially because of the kind of direction that they can go with, the potential that it has. Like it mentioned, a frozen episode where everything is frozen would be absolutely fantastic. And it's just a way to like just take your time with Jason killing off these characters, just really having a way of seeing Jason on screen, because the whole rights issue with the movie side of things, we're not going to see a movie anytime soon. So this, I'm 100% down for this. But what are your thoughts about everything when it comes to like the Friday the 13th part? Let me know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are about the storyline, the movies being broken up into series. What are your thoughts about the whole production issue and the budget? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. But that about wraps it up for this week's weekly entertainment news video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know I've been a bit slow when it comes to like movies and series, where everything just seems a bit slow, but I've got a couple of movie ideas coming out, so definitely keep an eye out on that. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This is YK Reviews. Peace.